Have you ever sat with someone who smiled at you, said all the right words, and yet something deep inside whispered, "This person is not what they seem"? Maybe it was a subtle tightening in your body, an awkward silence, or a faint sense that their friendliness was more performance than truth. Alan Watts often reminded us that much of human interaction is a game of masks. We put on roles: the polite friend, the supportive colleague, the cheerful companion, not necessarily because it reflects our real feelings, but because society trains us to act that way. Watts said, "Life is like a stage, and most people spend their days acting rather than simply being." This is why hidden hostility can be so dangerous. People rarely come out and say, "I dislike you," or "I resent you." Instead, they conceal it. But the truth always leaks through, in tone, in gestures, in sarcasm, or in the way they react to your success. Today, we'll dive deep into 8 signs that someone secretly close to you resents you, even if they hide it behind smiles. Pay close attention, because sign number 8 is subtle but devastating. It can change how you see certain people forever. Before we begin, remember to subscribe for more wisdom inspired by Alan Watts and other timeless thinkers. Now, let's begin. 1. Sarcasm and hidden contempt. Alan Watts often joked about how humans use humor not only to laugh, but to hide hostility. Many people disguise resentment through sarcasm, ironic jokes, or little barbs that sting. They'll tease you about your insecurities. Then when you protest, they reply, "Don't be so serious, I was just joking." On the surface, it's playful, but deep down, you feel humiliated. Watts would say this is the ego at play. The ego cannot accept its own dissatisfaction, so it projects it onto others in socially acceptable ways. Sarcasm becomes a mask for contempt. If someone repeatedly jokes about the same sensitive topics, your dreams, your appearance, your failures, and it always leaves you uneasy, that's not friendship. It's a signal of something darker lurking beneath. 2. Subtle sabotage. When resentment runs deep, it often shows up in sabotage. Not obvious betrayal, but little acts that slow you down. Maybe they forget to tell you important details. Maybe they give you advice that quietly leads you in the wrong direction. Maybe they make small mistakes that somehow always cost you time and energy. Alan Watts explained that much of human behavior is unconscious. A person who secretly envies you may not even realize they're undermining you. Their ego, threatened by your growth, drives them to complicate your path. Watch the patterns. If these accidents always happen at critical moments, it's not coincidence. It's hostility, hidden under the cloak of carelessness. 3. Silent competition. Watts loved to talk about how people make life into a game of one-upmanship. Instead of enjoying life as a dance, they turn it into a contest. Someone who secretly dislikes you will rarely celebrate your wins. Instead, they feel compelled to outdo you. You share good news, and suddenly they're talking about their own achievements. You mention a success, and they minimize it. "Oh, that's nice, but I did something similar a while ago." The ego cannot stand being overshadowed. Silent competition is one of its favorite tricks. Watts would remind us, people who live by comparison cannot enjoy their own life, and they certainly cannot celebrate yours. 4. Superficial kindness. Not all hostility looks like anger. Sometimes it wears the mask of politeness. A person who secretly resents you might appear friendly, but when you really need them, they're absent. When you succeed, their support feels hollow, forced, or completely missing. Watts often said that much of what we call love or friendship is conditional, based not on genuine care, but on convenience and appearances. Real kindness lifts you up. Fake kindness vanishes when tested. If someone consistently disappears at your lowest moments or downplays your biggest wins, their mask of friendliness hides a colder truth. That's the first 4 signs. In part 2, we'll go deeper into the next form, including the subtle manipulations, the betrayals and gossip, and the hidden signals of body language that expose the truth no matter how hard someone tries to hide it. Stay with me, because sign number 8 will change the way you see people forever. Control disguised as care. One of the most deceptive forms of hostility comes in the guise of love. Some people try to dominate your choices, not by openly commanding, but by pretending it's for your own good. They tell you what you should do, criticize your every decision, and plant doubts about your abilities. On the surface, it looks like concern, but the result is always the same. You feel smaller, weaker, less confident. Alan Watts explained that the need to control others arises from fear, a fear of chaos, of the unpredictable flow of life. Someone who cannot manage their own insecurity tries to impose order on the people around them. It's not about caring for you, it's about silencing the storm inside them. If someone's care always leaves you doubting yourself, remember Watts's wisdom. True love is not about control. It is about trust, freedom, and allowing life to unfold. 6. Gossip and indirect criticism. Another classic mask of hidden hatred is gossip. Those who secretly dislike you rarely confront you directly. Instead, they criticize you when you're not around. You may notice strange shifts in how others treat you, friends becoming distant, colleagues acting colder without knowing why. Behind the scenes, someone has been spreading distorted stories or exaggerating your mistakes. Alan Watts pointed out that people project their own insecurities onto others. Gossip is projection in action. By tearing you down, they attempt to lift themselves up. But in reality, their words reveal their own dissatisfaction more than your flaws. If you sense that people's attitude toward you are changing mysteriously, look deeper. Often, hidden resentment spreads its poison not in your presence, but in whispers behind your back. 5. Lack of joy in your success. True friends feel joy in your happiness, but someone who secretly resents you cannot share that joy. It threatens their ego too deeply. When you reach a milestone, instead of celebrating, they dismiss it. It's not such a big deal. Or they immediately turn the conversation toward themselves. Their praise feels hollow, and their enthusiasm fades quickly. Alan Watts often said, "Envy is the art of counting other people's blessings instead of your own." People who cannot find contentment within themselves will always see your success as a reminder of what they lack. And so, rather than lifting you up, they quietly wish you hadn't succeeded at all. If someone consistently minimizes your achievements or looks uncomfortable when you shine, it's not love. It's resentment wearing a thin disguise. 8. Nonverbal betrayals. Words can lie, but the body rarely does. A smile can be faked, but tension in the shoulders, a sudden silence, or a fleeting glare cannot be hidden so easily. Alan Watts explained that while the conscious mind plays roles, the unconscious always leaks through. The body is honest, even when the face is not. If someone pretends to like you, but secretly resents you, you'll notice it in the smallest gestures. Their smile doesn't reach their eyes. Their tone changes when they compliment you. They avoid eye contact when you succeed. These tiny cracks in the mask reveal what words try to conceal. Watts encouraged us to trust our intuition. The conscious mind may rationalize away these signals, but deep down, you know. The discomfort you feel is not random. It's your body recognizing a truth your mind resists. Alan Watts taught that life is a play, and everyone wears masks. Most of the time, those masks make social life easier. They smooth over awkwardness, keep society functioning, and allow us to get along. But when those masks hide resentment, hostility, or envy, they become dangerous. By noticing these signs, sarcasm, sabotage, silent competition, Shallow kindness, control disguised as care, gossip, lack of joy in your success, and the betrayals of body language. You protect yourself. You learn to see through the masks, and in doing so, you reclaim your peace. Watts would remind us, you cannot change other people. You cannot force them to love you. But you can see clearly, and you can choose where to place your trust and your energy. The more you see through the illusions, the freer you become. Thank you for following this journey. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more wisdom inspired by Alan Watts. And remember, the masks may hide many things, but the truth always finds its way through.